Fellow friends and family, today we come together as one to remember and honor our dearly beloved companion, so that their soul may rest in everlasting paradise. Until we meet again, old friend.
Okay, enough of that. Yes, I get it, DNF Duel is dead. And well, that's what inspired me to make this video, I guess. I mean, my experience with Spectre since she dropped was awful. Not the character, she's awesome. The matchmaking, the connections, the player base, non-existent. Yeah. Which, for me, is a real shame. For any of you guys that have been around the streams for any length of time, you've probably heard me many a time wax poetic about DNF Duel and how hyped I was for Spectre, and I was hyped, I was there, but the game ultimately just let me down, and it was her release that was the final nail in the coffin, the straw that broke Tanuki's bussy, so to speak. And yeah, I had to get this video out and just bitch and moan and complain. And just a slight disclaimer, I'm not so well read up on DNF Duel lore that I can recite every patch note on every date and every, not that there were many patch notes, but every patch note on every date and every happening and every this and which character was broken at this time and that. Overall, I was just a guy who played the fuck out of DNF Duel and absolutely loved it. So it's not gonna, I'm gonna somewhat tread over the history of the game, you know, when it came out and certain milestones within the game's lifespan. But ultimately, this was just made in good spirits, and I hope it gives you guys as much of a laugh as it's given me making it, because I've had a barrel of fun. Now then, on with the rant. As I alluded to earlier, the death of this game was not a swift and painless one. I've pointed out a few key failures on Arxis and Aiton's part, who I'll blame as a pair due to one being the publisher and the other the developer, that ultimately led to the death of DNF Duel. I'll of course explore these points throughout the video, but in order of importance, these are the three key points that I deem most responsible for the death of DNF Duel. Firstly, and most importantly, the abysmal post-launch support. Secondly, the ridiculous amount of time it took for them to add Spectre, particularly after her actual announcement. And finally, Swiftmaster. I'll first briefly touch on Swiftmaster and some other annoyances like the infinites that took way too long to be patched out of the game, because personally, these things didn't really bother me. It didn't really deter me from playing the game. I could see why it could deter other people from playing the game. But before we go any further on DNF Duel, let's cast our minds back to where it all began.
Where did all of it begin? Was it there? No. It doesn't matter where.
You're getting mixed!
Everything happened as I willed it. Everything begins here.
I'm hardly dressed for a party.
It's summer 2022. Guilty Gear Strive had launched the year prior, and as of June 2022 had wrapped up its first season pass run with undeniably the best fighting game character to have ever existed, Testament, dropping on March 31st.
Cuz they got fish, cuz. Hey, cuz, listen, cuz. I want this fish right here, cuz. I want me this fish right here, cuz. How much this shit costs, cuz?
And honestly, at this point, I wasn't even thinking of any other fighting games at the time. Testament was a character I absolutely fell in love with, and I already really enjoyed Guilty Gear Strive, but Testament's release was a turning point in the game's lifespan for me, where I just absolutely fell in love with that character, the design, the playstyle, and then just mix that with the way Strive plays in general. I absolutely fell in love with that. Just that game became untouchable for me. Alongside other characters like Bike and Sol, Rant, May, Giovanna, I just kept coming back. That arc system works magic, I'd be hooked, and I was super excited for Season 2. But, in the same breath, I'm a weeb. You show me an anime game made by Arxis, I'm already interested, and that was the case when I came across DNF Duel. No huge expectations for it, because I had no idea about the license and how big it might be, but The game was looking solid, the characters looked awesome. Launcher, Inquisitor, Striker, and Ice Wall Till Death Do Us Part, you know, like all the normal stuff. But this game did something different that I don't think many people saw coming. DNF Duel dropped and it came out swinging from the jump. Crazy combos, we got that. Fucked up damage that'll make you dashboard faster than low tier god playing against the Mexican, we got that too! The meter system was simple but super fun and allowed for a surprising amount of combo depth. Every single character was strong-ish and had some nutty things that they could do right off the bat. Swiftmaster. So regardless of which character allured your fancy, there was fun to be had. I'm no expert when it comes to sales numbers and I've no grasp of what the Dungeon Fighter Online license would have been expected to sell with a fighting game release on PlayStation and PC. I've struggled to find up-to-date sales figures, but this Game Center article published shortly after the game dropped states that DNF Duel managed to ship almost 100,000 copies on Steam alone in its first month. That certainly ain't bad. The audience, we were all there. I mean, we were all eagerly awaiting what was seemingly going to be a bright future for DNF Duel. It's here then that we begin to tread the waters of what I deem to be the least responsible for DNF Duel's death. Overall balance, touch of deaths, and infinites. Swiftmaster. Though these didn't deter me from playing as a whole, make note of the activity or lack of activity from Arxis and 18 side, as it won't be the first time I'll be putting this out. Now don't get me wrong, this game had a plethora of super strong characters early on. Yes, Swiftmaster was undoubtedly the number one amongst them, but other characters like Hitman, Striker, Troubleshooter and Crusader weren't so far off, and even Ranger and Grappler were pretty strong too, to name a few. I do think it's safe to say that it didn't take long for the player base to grow frustrated with the state of the game's balance, particularly with Swiftmaster. And you'd only have to search Swiftmaster is broken or Swiftmaster Rant on YouTube to find a bunch of videos of other players venting their frustrations. Some even claim to just straight up dropping the game and not wanting to play anymore. I'm not really one for tier lists myself because I just play who I think looks cool and hot and then just play them regardless of what tier they fall into. But it wouldn't take you long to find that many a streamer and competitive player were assuredly placing Swiftmaster in a tier of his own. And if you played against Swiftmaster or watched gameplay of Swiftmaster, you could probably tell why pretty quickly. I mean, I'm no expert, but his speed, his buttons, his combos, his pressure, his damage, guard reversal rates, and his unbelievable mix. I mean, this character was not left wanting for anything. I personally think that the balance of the game as a whole would have been fine if not for two things. Firstly, how long it actually took for us to get a balanced patch of note, and secondly, how unclear the devs were in regards to when we'd even getting a balanced patch at all. Though both of these reasons ultimately slot into the abysmal post-launch support that I mentioned earlier in the video, I wanted to separate the game's balance and support to really emphasise that despite growing into a bigger and bigger problem over time, DNF Duel started strong, and it was partially due to the absolute over-the-top bonkers things that you could do in the game. And I really do believe that building upon that original state of the game's balance could have done wonders for DNF Duel. It was already bonkers to begin with, so fix some of the annoyances and just keep making it even more crazy. But instead, we didn't get any changes for a while, and we didn't get any transparency as to when we'd be getting changes. And this really started the game's slow and painful death a lot earlier than we should have expected. I'm just going to jump off script real quick here just to give the most sincere fuck you to whoever's idea it was to allow Hitman to have a DP with a safe follow-up without a gap when he entered Awakening, that if you mashed on, or if you left the slightest little bit of had the slightest bit of fake pressure, or you made a mistake, he could just camp you out for the entirety of the round, and you make one small mistake, he can do a DP into a safe follow-up. If you fuck up, he'll go into his Awakening skill, 35%, 40% damage, you're dead. Awesome.
You can do like DP into the boys, into the super. So this is a game where DPs don't really give you like a reward. This is cheap, right? You match out of a string, you get full reward. Other things too is like you do DP blocked, you can still summon the boys. So they'll block the DP, they'll go and try and punish you. You summon the boys, crumple into super, steal the round. When he's at low health, very, very, very scary character.
It wasn't just safe. I'm pretty sure for a while it was fucking +5. No idea whose idea that was. Okay, where was I?
Drop the album! Drop the album! That's all you gotta do! All you gotta do is drop the album! Drop it today! Drop it today! Drop it today! All you gotta do is drop the album!
For the second half of this video, I'm going to group together the abysmal post-launch support and the ridiculous amount of time it took for Spectre to be released after she was initially announced. At this point though, you may be asking yourself,
Oh, Tanuki.
why haven't you brought up the Winter Balance Pass that took 6 months to drop after the game's release? Well, there's a reason for that. Whilst there certainly was a huge buzz around DNF Duel when this balance patch dropped around early to mid-December of 2022, I personally felt as someone playing the game that buzz only lasted for about a month, if even that, and the swath of changes that they brought about were amazing for the game. They were absolutely up my alley. I mean, they made the game so much more crazier than it even was. Everyone basically got buffed. We were eating good in that respect, but it wasn't enough to take this game off live support. However, with what they announced just a bit before the winter patch, hope was still in my heart. Oh, Spectre, my beautiful betrothed, how I yearned to live a blissful... So they announced Spectre on December 3rd, and accompanying that announcement, they also announced that an entire season pass was also on its way, namely Spectre arriving summer of 2023. Again, the hype was definitely there amongst the community for this. I don't think anyone was screaming, "It's DNF Duel, baby!" But December was shaping up to be the start of something good for the game, finally.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Is this some kind of twisted joke?
By early 2023, if not earlier, this game was on live support already. But it was this trailer that sealed the game's fate, pulling the plug and slowly letting its barely breathing carcass begin to rot. I personally was hyped as fuck after this, and I was kidding myself into believing the game was going to make it through. It was going to pull through. But I think in reality, when I look back objectively, the fact that at minimum it would have been a whole year before we got our first DLC character, and even in the months leading up to Spectre's eventual release in July, they gave us no communication. Street Fighter was dropping. It's like, is it going to drop before Street Fighter, after Street Fighter, around Street Fighter? Like, what are they even doing? That Spectre in the balance patch, maybe to some people they might say, well, that should have been enough, but the game was already dead. But for me personally, I think even if you left the game's balance as it was after the winter balance patch, if you could commit to a character every 2 to 3 months from January, I think you'd have been okay. The game needed new characters. It needed something fresh and flashy. The update, the winter balance patch was awesome. It was. But to revive the game, it needed more, and it just didn't get it. Spectre ended up dropping on July 12th, 2023. Hunky dory, fantastic. Oh, let's go play some Spectre. I mean, I tried, but nobody was on the fucking game. And anybody that I did play against, 8 frames of rollback, 200 ms, yeah, absolutely fucking bollocks. Just no point in even trying to play the game. I used her in the combo, did the combo trials. She was awesome. So excited to play her, but the gameplay experience was trash. And even then, Rashid was revealed on the 6th of July to be coming out on the 24th of July. So just all the hype, all the momentum, it just taken away, because who's going to be playing DNF Duel anyway at this point? Like, there's just... I could just rant about this game forever. And I mean, I guess this is what this video is for. I guess it's my way to say my piece on a game I really did love and never expected to love, but really did love, and kind of just put it down for good. I'm never touching this game again. I wanted to come back for all the releases of the season pass, because I just know they're all going to be as cool as Spectre is. They're all going to play awesome. It's Arxis. I know 18 to be behind as well, but it's Arxis. Like, it's got that Arxis flair to it, and the game is amazing, but I can't fucking play it, so what do? Rest in peace, DNF Duel.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Yo, what is good, everyone? It's Tanuki here. I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, this is probably going to be a bit of an unedited rambling, so if you get any stuttering, you know why. But I'm recording this as an afterword to the DNF Duel rant video, just to sort of give you guys a little bit of insight on what I'm going to be switching gear towards next. And now, for a peon in the middle of the internet space such as myself to say that, it sounds kind of weird, but in doing this DNF Duel video, even though it's not that long and it's not that difficult to curate, fuck me does it take a while. And even then, this is my first one, so I'd love to hear what you guys' feedback on this in terms of whether you enjoyed it, and also parts you think I could have done better on. Me particularly, I think the way I constructed my points wasn't quite as smooth. I mean, just straight up wasn't brilliant really, in comparison to other essay-like or rant-like videos you might find on YouTube and whatnot. Not that I'm trying to compare myself to other people. I've got to be better than that guy, but when I'm doing this, I like to try and be the best that I can be. So as much as I look at this video and parts of it and think, fucking hell, you're speaking to awful there, you can't decide how you want your voice to sound from one statement to the next, and then the whole point you've made here isn't really that concise either. It's a good learning experience for me to sort of be like, okay, this is how I do it. I've done it this way on this video. Maybe next time we can try something different. Maybe I can commit to a more higher voice and presented tone when I'm speaking, or maybe I just speak a bit more normal. I don't know. It depends on what I think sounds the best, I guess. But in general, I've had an absolute blast making this video. I really haven't. There's definitely a part of me that's like, I'm thankful to just get this done now and get it out there. But that's not because I've not been enjoying the process. It's because I just want to fucking share it with you guys and see. And I mean, I've really enjoyed making it, and I think it's fucking great, as well as there are flaws within it. So I've already got what I wanted out of this experience. Seeing you guys enjoy it though, or not enjoy it and critique it, that's the French kiss, that's the bonus, that's the cherry on the top. That's all I want. Onto the switching gear part. I mean, any of you guys who've been around the stream or have spoken to me at any length know to take every single thing I'm about to say with the most biggest pinch of salt ready to then throw into my face when I divert away from this. But I'm going to say it anyway. In general, videos such as this, because of how much planning and time, again, it's not impossible, but to do a video like this for me, at least how I've gone about it this time round, I kind of have to stop everything else I'm doing, because either my mind gets away from it, or let's say I'm studying language, studying Japanese, and then I do 2-3 hours of that, and then I try and edit this video and my brain is just gone. I don't want to do anything. Or I try and write my brain, and then I come back to this video and my brain is just gone. Like, I don't want to edit right now. Like, my brain isn't feeling creative. Like, I'm not feeling like I can do the video to the quality that I want to do the video, which makes me just not do it, and then ultimately end up doing nothing. So whenever I'm switching gears, making a video like this, I'm likely gonna, and you guys will know around that time, mess around with my stream schedule and blah 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 blah. That's for making a video like this though. Now I'm switching gears towards writing again, and the last time I did this, I mean, I had to test myself and give myself a deadline, which I missed by like 2 weeks, but give myself a deadline and then only produce 10 pages of terrible shit. But basically, I don't know exactly what my timeline is going to be, and I'll probably update you guys in the Discord to something a bit more concrete, but My sights were set on making a video I was proud of, but also wanted to improve on with this video. I've achieved that. Now I want to do the same from a writing context, and I want to do what I did last time where I set myself some sort of deadline, but produce far more, whether I like it or not, in terms of its quality. Produce far more, and then obviously hopefully hit that quality mark that I believe I can be capable of, and you know, interact with you guys who want to consume, you know, writing from me in that way, because obviously that's another thing. That's the main thing I'm passionate about really, as opposed to, you know, making these videos and playing fighting games on stream and stuff. All this stuff is great, but the writing and creating stories is what I'm really passionate about, and that's where, as I say, my main passion lies. I just need to find the best way to schedule that within the streams, making other videos, learning languages, staying healthy, which is fucking another thing Tanuki needs to get better at. But my point is, I'll be switching gears towards, I've said that phrase about 10 times, but I'll be switching gears towards trying to put out a nice chunk of writing sometime. I want to put again, pinch of salt, but within like the next month, I'm gonna have like a day or two. I've got work tomorrow, for fuck's sake. But you know, I maybe have like a day or two off just to have a breather, because I was just working and thinking about this non-stop, which I fucking do anyway for everything. But to have a small breather, come back to streaming, but then again, sort of really make my schedule work around that objective of putting out a nice decent chunk of writing within the next month, and just further improve my scheduling and just my work rate and ethic and just all of these things. I mean, I've spoken about this on stream so many times before about how I want so much more for this channel, and I really do. And before I even go there, I mean, the support from you guys since the beginning has been fucking incredible. Let's make it known. There's no Tanuki. I'm not sitting here pressing the record button on BandLab and going on this fucking random ass monologue at the end of this video, in a video that wouldn't even be made also if it weren't for you guys and your support. You're all fucking legends. Both just for vibing and chilling in the chat and just chatting about the bollocks that we chat about on stream, but also the support and the critique and the feedback. It's all fucking amazing, and that's ultimately what I want. I want a field where I can express myself and do things and create and be critiqued. That's my selfish want. Alongside that, if I can drag other homies with me who are into this type of space and this thing, or it doesn't have to be exactly the same as me, etc, and I can bring you guys along, I mean, that's fucking awesome too. But ultimately, I just want a space where I can be critiqued on the things that I do, and that's the promised land for me. I need to work a lot harder to earn the right to have this space, because as well as I've done since I've made this channel and progressed and worked on things that I have quote unquote behind the scenes, as corny as that phrase is, I also look at myself and think I could do so much better. I could do so much better, and there's no point in me saying that in this voice now. I'm just doing it for the purpose of the conversation. But that's what I want to do, and I want to just keep going, head down, just keep moving, keep working, keep putting stuff out that I'm proud of. Not necessarily rushing myself, but working harder, because I think I can work harder. And however you guys choose to interact with that, whether it's none of it and just coming to the stream, like, subscribing, whether it's none of that, you guys can interact however you want. All I want is the chance to be able to put it out there. The critique is the bonus. That's the bonus. But the chance to be able to put it out there and know that it could be critiqued, that's all I'm asking for. But yeah, I think that's the end of my crazy long rambling. That's 8.5 minutes now. I did not expect to be rambling for this long. But yeah, you're all legends. You're all awesome. Look after yourselves. I'll be streaming more. Oh, also, quick one. Do not worry about Kingdom Hearts 2. I will be going back. Right, it's just I had to finish this motherfucking video. Rashid came out. We will be playing Kingdom Hearts 2 very, very soon. In fact, I'll probably even Monday or Tuesday guarantee we're playing Kingdom Hearts. Monday if I'm feeling good after work. Tuesday 100% doesn't matter. We are playing Kingdom Hearts 2. Peak will return once again. Right, you guys are awesome. Love you all. Peace.